My name is Paige, and this is the story of how my parents convinced me they were protecting my money while they were actually stealing it. But first, dear viewers, I'd love to hear from each and every one of you. What country and city are you watching from right now? And what challenges have you faced in your own life? Thank you so much for sharing. Your stories matter, and I read every single comment. Now let me tell you what happened to me. Chapter 1. The Receipt Ritual. I'm 26 years old. I work as a graphic designer for a marketing agency in Denver, Colorado, making $48,000 a year. Not rich, but comfortable. I live in a studio apartment that costs $1,100 a month, drive a paid-off 2015 Toyota Corolla, and have been slowly building my savings since I graduated college 4 years ago. My parents are Karen and Michael. They're both in their mid-50s, upper middle class, and obsessed with one thing above all else: control disguised as concern. Growing up, every dollar I received had to be accounted for. Birthday money from grandparents? Mom needed to hold it for safekeeping. Allowance for chores? Dad kept a ledger. Money from my first job at 16? They opened a savings account for me that I couldn't access without their permission. They called it teaching me financial responsibility. I called it what it was: control. When I went to college, I took out student loans specifically so I wouldn't have to ask them for money. I worked part-time jobs. I graduated with $32,000 in debt, but I graduated free, or so I thought. Because even at 26, living on my own, paying my own bills, my parents still treated my money like it was theirs to monitor. It started small. Last Thanksgiving, I bought a new coat. A nice one, wool, fitted, $180 from Nordstrom Rack. I'd saved for it. I loved it. My mom saw me wearing it at dinner. "That's new," she said, eyeing it. "Where did you get it?" "Nordstrom Rack. It was on sale." "How much?" I hesitated. "Does it matter?" "I'm just curious. You're always saying money is tight." "It was $180. Her eyebrows went up. $180 for a coat? Paige, that's excessive. I saved for it. Still, that's a lot of money for someone with student loans. My dad chimed in. "Do you have the receipt?" I laughed, thinking he was joking. "Why would you need my receipt?" "To see if you got a good deal. $180 seems high for a sale item." "It was 40% off. Original price was $300. But you don't need a $300 coat." I felt my face getting hot. I'm 26. I bought a coat with my own money. I don't need to justify it. My mom's voice got that edge. "We're not asking you to justify it. We're asking you to be smart. If you can't handle money responsibly—" "I'm handling it responsibly." "Then show us the receipt. Prove it was a good purchase." I stared at them. "I'm not showing you my receipt." The temperature in the room dropped. "That's fine," my dad said coldly. "But don't come to us when you're broke and can't pay your bills." I wasn't broke. I wasn't asking them for money. I'd bought a coat, but they'd turned it into a moral failure. That was November. It got worse from there. Chapter 2. The Spending Interrogations. Over the next few months, every time I saw my parents, they found a way to comment on my spending. Christmas. I gave my mom a nice candle set, $45. She Googled the brand at the table and said, "These are $15 each." "You spent $45 on candles? Paige, that's wasteful." January. I mentioned I'd gone out to dinner with friends. My dad asked where. I said a new Italian place downtown. "How much did you spend?" "I don't know, like $40? For one meal?" "You could make pasta at home for $5. I was celebrating a friend's promotion. You can celebrate without wasting money. February. I posted an Instagram photo from a weekend trip to Boulder with friends. My mom texted, "You took a trip? How much did that cost? Do you have money saved for emergencies, or are you just spending everything?" I called her. "Mom, it was a day trip. We hiked. It was free except for gas, which we split. It cost me $12. "But you could have saved that $12. "I could have. But I wanted to spend a day with friends." "Friends don't pay your rent, Paige." I hung up. March came, and with it, my birthday. I turned 26. My parents took me to dinner at a chain steakhouse, the kind where the bill for 3 people comes to $120, and my dad makes a show of pulling out his credit card like he's funding a charity. Halfway through dinner, my mom slid an envelope across the table. "Happy birthday, honey." Inside was a check for $100. "Thanks, Mom. We thought you could use it." I know money's been tight. Money wasn't tight. I had $9,200 in my savings account, but I didn't correct her. Put it towards something practical, my dad said, not another coat. I forced a smile. I will. 2 days later, my mom texted, Mom, did you deposit the birthday check? Me, yes. Thank you again. Mom, what are you going to use it for? Me, probably groceries and gas. Mom, can you send me the receipts when you spend it? I want to make sure it's going toward necessities. I read that message 5 times. She wanted receipts. For the $100 she'd given me, for my birthday. Me, you want me to send you receipts for how I spend my birthday gift? Mom, it's not about control. It's about making sure you're being responsible. $100 is a lot of money. $100 is a lot of money, coming from the woman who just spent $200 on decorative throw pillows for her living room. Me, I'm 26. I don't need to show you receipts. Mom, then maybe we shouldn't give you money if you're going to be ungrateful about it. Ungrateful, the magic word. I didn't respond. Chapter 3, The Safety Plan. 2 weeks later, my parents called and asked me to come over for dinner. We need to talk about something important, my dad said. I should have known better. But I went. They sat me down at their dining room table with printed spreadsheets, actual spreadsheets. We've been worried about you, my mom started. Why? Your spending, your savings, your future. My savings are fine. How much do you have saved? My dad asked. I hesitated. Giving them that information felt like handing them a weapon. But they were staring at me, waiting. A little over $9,000. My mom's eyes widened. You have $9,000 in savings? Yes. Where? In my savings account, at my bank. My dad frowned. What bank? Wells Fargo. He shook his head. That's not safe. What's not safe about a bank? Online access. Debit cards. You could drain that account in a day if you're not careful. I'm not going to drain my account. You spent $180 on a coat, Paige. You clearly have impulse control issues. I felt my jaw clench. I saved for that coat. But what if there's an emergency, my mom said. What if you panic and spend all your savings on something frivolous? That's not going to happen. My dad slid a piece of paper across the table. We have a proposal. I looked at the paper. It was a handwritten agreement. Paige's Savings Protection Plan. I read it out loud. Paige will transfer her savings, $9,000, to a joint account with Karen and Michael for safekeeping. This ensures 1. Paige cannot make impulsive purchases, is exempt. Parents can monitor and approve all withdrawals. Esther 3. Savings remain protected for true emergencies. Asterisk 4. Paige learns financial discipline. Looked up. You want me to give you access to my savings? Not give us access, my mom corrected. We'd hold it for you, for safety. It's already safe. It's in a bank. But you have access to it, my dad said. You could spend it any time. This way, you'd have to ask us first. We'd help you make smart choices. I felt something cold settle in my stomach. You want me to ask your permission to spend my own money? It's not about permission, my mom said. It's about accountability. I'm 26 years old. I have a job. I pay my own bills. I don't need accountability to my parents. Clearly you do, or you wouldn't have spent $180 on a coat. I stood up. I'm not doing this. Paige, sit down. No, you're asking me to hand over control of my savings. That's insane. It's not insane, my dad said, voice hardening. It's what responsible parents do when their child shows poor judgment. I'm not a child. Then stop acting like one. I grabbed my purse. I'm leaving. If you walk out that door, my mom said, voice shaking, you're making a huge mistake. We're trying to help you. By taking my money? By protecting it from you. I left. Chapter 4. The Pressure Campaign. Over the next week, they didn't let up. Mom, text. We're not trying to control you. We're trying to protect you. Dad, text. You're going to regret this when you blow through your savings. Mom, voicemail. Your father and I have been talking. If you won't let us help you, we can't support you financially anymore. No birthday gifts, no Christmas money, nothing. Not if you're going to waste it. I didn't respond to any of it. Then my mom called my Aunt Lisa, her sister, and told her I was having money problems and refusing help. Aunt Lisa called me. "Your mom is really worried about you." "I'm fine. She said you have $9,000 in savings, but you're spending recklessly." "I bought a coat. In November. That's it." "Well, she's concerned you'll blow through your savings." "Aunt Lisa, I'm not asking them for money. I'm not in debt. I'm just living my life." "But if they're offering to help manage your money..." "They're not offering to help. They're demanding control." She was quiet. "They're your parents, Paige. They want what's best for you. What's best for me is my own bank account." A week later, my mom sent me an article about millennials and financial irresponsibility with the message, "This is exactly what we're worried about." I blocked her number. Then my dad showed up at my apartment unannounced. "We need to talk," he said when I opened the door. "I'm not doing this." "Paige, you're being ridiculous. We're your parents. We've managed money successfully for 30 years. We own our home. We have retirement savings. We know what we're doing." "Great. Manage your own money. We're trying to help you avoid the mistakes we made." "What mistakes? You just said you're successful." "The mistakes we avoided because our parents helped us." I stared at him. "Your parents gave you money. You're trying to take mine." "It's the same thing." "It's not. At all. Leave, please." "Paige." "Leave or I'm calling the cops." He left, but not before saying, "You're going to regret this. When you're 30 and broke and begging for help, don't come to us." I closed the door and locked it. Chapter 5. The Access. Here's the thing I didn't know. My parents already had access to my savings. I found out by accident. It was a Tuesday in April. I logged into my Wells Fargo account to transfer $200 to my checking account for rent. My savings balance, $4,247. I stared at the screen. $4,247. I'd had $9,200 2 weeks ago. I refreshed the page. Same number. My hands started shaking. I clicked on the transaction history. April 2nd. Transfer to checking. Karen Collins, $2,500 April 5th. Transfer to checking. Karen Collins, $6,100 April 9th. Transfer to checking. Karen Collins, $6,153 Karen Collins. My mother. My mother had withdrawn $4,953 from my savings account. I felt like I was going to throw up. I called the bank immediately. "Wells Fargo, this is Daniel. How can I help you?" "Someone withdrew $5,000 from my savings account without my permission." "Okay, let me pull up your account. Can I have your account number?" I gave it to him. He typed, "Okay, I'm showing 3 transfers from your savings to a checking account ending in 7734. Is that your checking account?" "No." "Do you recognize the account holder?" "Karen Collins." "That's my mother. But I didn't authorize these transfers." It shows here that Karen Collins is listed as a joint account holder on your savings account. She has full access." The room tilted. "What?" "She's been on the account since it was opened in 2014. She has the same withdrawal rights as you, 2014. I was 18. I'd opened that account with my mom when I started college because she'd said I needed a parent on the account for emergencies. I'd forgotten, or I'd been too naive to realize what it meant. She'd had access to my money for 8 years. I need her removed from the account, immediately. I can submit that request, but you'll need to come into a branch with ID, or she can remove herself. How long will it take? If you come in person, we can process it today." "I'll be there in 30 minutes. I hung up, grabbed my keys, and drove to the bank in a fury. At the branch, I explained the situation to a manager named Stephanie. "My mother is on my account without my current knowledge, and she's been withdrawing my money." Stephanie pulled up my account. I see 3 recent transfers, $4,953 total. I didn't authorize any of them. Unfortunately, because she's a joint account holder, she doesn't need your authorization. She has equal access to the funds. Can I get the money back? That would be a civil matter between you and her. From the bank's perspective, she had legal authority to make those transfers. I wanted to scream, "Remove her, now." "I can do that. I'll need your ID and signature." I slammed my driver's license on the counter. 10 minutes later, Karen Collins was removed from my account. But $4,953 of my savings was gone. I sat in my car in the bank parking lot and called my mother. She answered cheerfully. Hi, honey. Where's my money? Silence. What money? The $5,000 you took from my savings account. Oh, that? Yes, that. Paige, we talked about this. Your money wasn't safe. We moved it to a secure account for you. You stole from me. We didn't steal. We relocated your funds for safekeeping. You withdrew my money from my account without telling me. We're your parents. We have every right to protect your assets. You have zero right. I just removed you from my account. You're never touching my money again. Paige, you're being dramatic. Give me my money back now. It's safe. It's in a high-yield savings account in your father's name. You'll get it back when you prove you can be responsible. That's theft. It's parenting. I hung up, and then I did what I should have done weeks ago. I called a lawyer. Chapter 6. The Legal Reality. The lawyer's name was Miranda Chen. She specialized in family law and financial disputes. Her consultation fee was $200. I paid it with money I no longer had enough of. I told her everything. The joint account, the withdrawals, the safety plan, the refusal to return the money. She took notes, asked questions, and finally sat back. Okay, here's the legal reality. Because your mother was a joint account holder, she had legal authority to withdraw those funds. From the bank's perspective, she didn't steal. She exercised her access rights. But I didn't know she still had access. That doesn't matter legally. You signed the account agreement in 2014 making her a joint holder. That was your consent. I was 18 and legally an adult, which means the agreement was valid. I felt sick. So I can't get the money back? Criminally? No. The police won't touch this because it wasn't theft in the legal sense. Civilly? Maybe. You could sue her for conversion of property or unjust enrichment. But family court judges are reluctant to intervene in parent-child financial disputes unless there's clear fraud or elder abuse. She transferred $5,000 of my money into her account without telling me. That's fraud. In a normal relationship, yes. But because you two had a joint account with equal access, it's murky. A judge might see it as a family disagreement, not a crime. So she can just take my money and there's nothing I can do? Miranda leaned forward. I didn't say that. I said it's complicated. Here's what I recommend. Send her a formal demand letter, certified mail. State that she withdrew funds without your knowledge or consent, that you're demanding full repayment within 30 days, and that if she doesn't comply, you'll pursue legal action. Will that work? It depends on whether she cares about being sued. Some people do, some don't. And if she doesn't pay? You file a small claims lawsuit. In Colorado, you can sue for up to $7,500 in small claims. Your $4,953 fits. No lawyers needed. You represent yourself. It's cheap and relatively fast. What are my chances of winning? Honestly, 50-50. You have to prove that her taking the money was wrongful despite her legal access. You'd need to show that she acted in bad faith, that she knew you didn't want her to have access and took the money anyway. I have text messages. I have the conversation where they asked me to put money in a joint account with them and I refused. That helps? Bring all of that. Every text, every email, every conversation you can document. I left her office $200 poorer, but with a plan. That night, I drafted the demand letter. Miranda had given me a template. Demand for return of funds. Dear Karen and Michael Collins, on April 2nd, April 5th, and April 9th, 2024, you withdrew a total of $4,953 from my savings account at Wells Fargo without my knowledge or authorization. While you were technically listed as a joint account holder from 2014, I was not aware you still had access. More importantly, I explicitly refused your request in March 2024 to give you control over my savings. Your withdrawal of these funds was done in bad faith and constitutes conversion of my property. I hereby demand that you return the full amount of $4,953 to me within 30 days of receipt of this letter. If you fail to comply, I will pursue all available legal remedies, including filing a lawsuit in small claims court. Sincerely, Paige Collins. I printed it, signed it, and mailed it. Certified mail the next morning. Then I waited. Chapter 7. The Response. The certified letter was delivered on a Thursday. I tracked it online. Signature required. Karen Collins, 2:47 p.m. I waited for a response. Nothing Thursday night. Nothing Friday. Saturday morning, my phone rang at 7 a.m. My dad. I let it go to voicemail. He left a 3-minute message that I listened to on speaker. Paige, your mother and I received your ridiculous letter. Let me be very clear. We did not steal from you. We moved your money to protect it because you've shown repeatedly that you can't be trusted with financial decisions. The fact that you've hired a lawyer and are threatening to sue your own parents tells us everything we need to know about your character. You are ungrateful, disrespectful, and clearly incapable of adult decision-making. If you pursue this, you will destroy this family. Think very carefully about what you're doing. Call us. R-stirked, I deleted the voicemail. An hour later, my mom texted, Mom, we need to talk. Face to face. This has gone too far. Me, you have 27 days left to return my money. After that, I'm filing in small claims court. Mom, you're really going to sue us? Over money we're keeping safe for you? Me? You stole $5,000 from my account without permission. That's not safekeeping, that's theft. Mom, we had legal access. The bank said so. Me. And I explicitly told you no when you asked to control my savings. You did it anyway. That's bad faith. A judge will agree. Mom, no judge will side with a child suing her parents over money we're protecting. You'll be laughed out of court. Me. Then you have nothing to worry about. Pay me back or see you in court. She didn't respond. Chapter 8. The Family Mobilization by Sunday. The entire family knew. My mom had sent a group email to every relative we had. Subject: Prayer request, dear family. Iskell, Michael, and I are heartbroken. Our daughter Paige has decided to sue us over money we moved to a safe account to protect her financial future. Despite everything we've done for her, paying for her childhood, supporting her education, giving her birthday gifts, she has chosen to turn on us with legal threats. We're devastated and don't understand where this anger is coming from. We've always wanted what's best for her. Now she's accusing us of theft and threatening court action. Toxic, please pray for our family during this difficult time. Pray that Paige comes to her senses and remembers that family is more important than money. Trucks love Karen and Michael. I got forwarded the email by my cousin Jenny with the message, WTF is going on? Within hours, I was getting calls and texts from everyone. Aunt Lisa, Paige, what is your mother talking about? You're suing them? Uncle Robert, I don't know what's happening, but you need to apologize to your parents immediately. Grandma, I'm so disappointed in you. Family doesn't sue family. Cousin Mike, your mom said you're accusing them of stealing? That seems extreme. I responded to Jenny and ignored everyone else. Me to Jenny. Mom and Dad took $5,000 from my savings account without telling me after I explicitly refused to give them control of my money. I asked for it back. They refused. So yes, I'm taking them to court. Jenny, holy shit. They actually took your money? Me? Yes, I have bank records. Jenny, that's fucked up. Me, yes. Jenny, do you need anything? Me? Just someone who believes me. Jenny, I believe you. That meant more than she knew. My parents' next move was escalation. Monday morning, I got an email from my dad's attorney. Wait, my dad had hired an attorney? For a $5,000 dispute? The email was from someone named Robert Hutchins, Esquire. Dear Ms. Collins, I represent Karen and Michael Collins in the matter of your recent demand letter. My clients categorically deny your allegations. They did not steal from you. As joint account holders with legal access to the savings account in question, they exercised their lawful rights to transfer funds they believed were at risk due to your irresponsible spending habits. Jerks, furthermore, your parents have incurred significant emotional distress as a result of your baseless accusations and threats. They are prepared to countersue for defamation and emotional damages if you proceed with legal action. Punished, we strongly advise you to withdraw your demand and apologize to your parents. If you fail to do so, we will pursue all available remedies. Starstick, sincerely, Robert Hutchins, attorney at law. I read it 3 times, feeling my rage build with each word. They'd hired a lawyer to threaten me for asking for my own money back. I forwarded it to Miranda Chin with the subject line, they hired an attorney. She called me 20 minutes later. Well, they're taking this seriously. Should I be worried? About the countersuit threat? No, that's a scare tactic. Defamation requires you to make false public statements that harm their reputation. Sending them a private demand letter isn't defamation. And emotional distress is nearly impossible to prove in a case like this. So it's bullshit? Complete bullshit. They're trying to intimidate you into backing down. It's not working. Good. Do you want me to respond or do you want to respond yourself? What would you say? Basically, nice try, but we're not scared. Return the money or see you in court. I'll draft something and send it to you for approval. Perfect. I wrote a response that night. Dear Mr. Hutchins, I am in receipt of your letter dated April 15th, 2024. Sure, your client's characterization of events is inaccurate. I did not give them permission to access my savings account after explicitly refusing their request to control my funds in March 2024. Their withdrawal of $4,953 without my knowledge constitutes bad faith conversion of my property. Your threats of countersuits for defamation and emotional distress are without merit and appear designed to intimidate me into abandoning my legitimate claim. My demand stands. Return $4,953 within the original 30-day period, 14 days remaining, or I will file in small claims court. I will not be responding to further correspondence from your office. Sincerely, Paige Collins Miranda. 2. Approved it. I sent it certified mail. Chapter 9. The Smear Campaign. While I waited, my parents launched a full character assassination. My mom posted on Facebook, Document, Jagukich, when you raise a child with love, provide everything they need, and teach them right from wrong, you hope they'll grow into a good person. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they turn against you. Heartbroken doesn't even begin to describe it. Shush Family Matters, hashtag unconditional love, hashtag prayers. 104 likes, 38 comments. Comment from mom's friend Debbie, so sorry you're going through this. Some kids just don't appreciate their parents. Arscart comment from dad's cousin, praying for you both. Remember, the truth always comes out. Comment from neighbor, you two are such wonderful parents. I'm sure this will work out. I wanted to comment. They stole $5,000 from my bank account, but I didn't. Miranda had advised against public statements. My dad did an interview with their church newsletter. Someone sent me a screenshot. We're going through a difficult time as our daughter has chosen money over family. We're praying she finds her way back to the values we taught her. We still love her, but we're heartbroken by her choices. I felt sick reading it. They were positioning themselves as the victims, the loving parents betrayed by their greedy daughter, and people believed them. I got a call from my grandmother. Paige, I need you to tell me the truth. Did your parents really steal from you, or are you just angry about something else? Grandma, they took $5,000 from my savings account without telling me. But they said they had access to the account. They did, from when I was 18. But I didn't know they still had it, and I told them no when they asked to control my money in March. They did it anyway. But they're your parents. They must have had a good reason. Their reason was that they don't think I can manage my own money. That's not a legal reason to take it. Paige, family is more important than money. Grandma, this isn't about money. This is about them controlling me. They love you. They're trying to help. They're trying to control me. There's a difference. She sighed. I think you should apologize and move on. This is tearing the family apart. They can end this any time by giving me my money back. You're being stubborn. I'm being robbed. She hung up. Chapter 10. The 30 days. The 30-day deadline came and went. No payment, no apology, no contact except through their attorney, who sent one final letter. My clients will not be complying with your demand. They maintain that all actions taken were lawful and in your best interest. Proceed at your own risk. Tendency? Fine. I filed in small claims court the next day. The filing fee was $75. I filled out the forms myself. Plaintiff, Paige Collins defendant. Karen Collins and Michael Collins amount claimed. $4,953 basis of claim. Conversion of property / unjust enrichment. In the section where I had to explain my claim, I wrote, defendants withdrew $4,953 from plaintiff's savings account without plaintiff's knowledge or consent after plaintiff explicitly refused to grant them control of said funds. Despite having technical legal access as joint account holders from 2014, defendants acted in bad faith and are unjustly enriched by retaining these funds. Plaintiff demands return of full amount plus court costs. I attached bank statements showing the withdrawals, text messages where I refused their protection plan, the certified demand letter, their attorney's refusal to return funds. The clerk stamped everything and handed me a court date, June 12, 2024, 6 weeks away. You'll receive notice of the hearing in the mail. So will the defendants. Both parties must appear. What happens at the hearing? You both present your evidence to a judge. Judge makes a decision. If you win, they have to pay. If they don't pay voluntarily, you can garnish wages or bank accounts. Thank you. I walked out of the courthouse feeling like I'd crossed a point of no return. I'd sued my parents. Chapter 11. The Reaction. The summons was served to my parents 3 days later. My mom called me immediately. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. I just did it. You actually sued us, your own parents, over money. I hope you're proud of yourself. I hope it was worth it, because you've lost your family. Don't ever contact us again. Right? She sounded like she was crying. I felt a strange mix of guilt and clarity. The guilt was old programming. The voice that said, family is everything, and you're being cruel. The clarity was new. The voice that said, they stole from you, and you deserve accountability. Clarity 1. My dad sent an email. Subject, lawsuit Paige. Asterisk. I cannot believe you've taken this path. We raised you better than this. Since you've chosen to make this legal, everything from here on out will go through our attorney. Do not contact us directly. Do not come to our home. Do not speak to other family members about this case. You've made your choice. Now live with it. Starting Dad, I didn't respond. The family continued to choose sides. Aunt Lisa called. I'm so disappointed in you. Your parents are devastated. Uncle Robert sent a text. You're dead to me. My cousin Jenny sent, still on your side. Fuck them. Grandma sent a handwritten letter that arrived a week before the court date. I opened it with shaking hands. Dear Paige, I don't understand why you're doing this. Your parents love you. They've always loved you. They made a mistake maybe, but we all make mistakes. Sampert family forgives. Family doesn't sue? Arstick, I'm asking you to drop this lawsuit. Be the bigger person. Show grace. Think if you go through with this, I don't know if I can continue to have a relationship with you. Love, Grandma, I read it twice, then put it in my evidence folder. Even my grandmother was choosing them. Fine, I'd go to court alone. Chapter 12. The preparation. I spent the next 6 weeks preparing. I organized every piece of evidence. 1. Bank statements, week parching 24, $9,200 balance April 2nd, $2,500 withdrawal, Karen Collins, April 5, $1,200 withdrawal, Karen Collins, April 9th, $1,253 withdrawal, Karen Collins, April 10th, $4,247 remaining balance 2, text messages, asterisk March conversation where I refused their protection plan birthday gift receipt demands mom asking what bank when I told them I had savings 3. The protection plan document. The actual handwritten agreement they tried to get me to sign 4. Witness statements. Asterisk Jenny agreed to testify that she'd heard me talk about refusing to give them control. 5. Demand letter and response are stork my certified demand. Their attorney's refusal. I made 3 copies of everything. 1 for me, 1 for the judge, 1 for my parents. I practiced my statement. Doff, Your Honor. In March 2024, my parents asked me to transfer my savings to a joint account with them for safekeeping. I refused. 2 weeks later, they withdrew $4,953 from my savings account without my knowledge. They had technical access as joint account holders from 2014, but I'd explicitly denied them permission to control my money. I'm asking for the return of my funds plus court costs. Short, clear, factual. I was ready. Chapter 13. The court day, June 12, 2024. Small Claims Court, Courtroom 3C. I arrived at 8:45 a.m. for the 9 a.m. docket. My parents were already there, sitting on a bench in the hallway with their attorney, Robert Hutchins. They didn't look at me. I didn't look at them. At 9 a.m., the bailiff called our case. Collins versus Collins. We entered the courtroom. The judge was a woman in her 50s named Judge Patricia Morrison. This is a small claims matter, she said, reviewing her notes. Plaintiff is suing defendants for $4,953 plus court costs, claiming conversion of property. Defendants are representing themselves with counsel present for advice only. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor, Hutchins said. Yes, Your Honor, I said. Plaintiff, make your case. I stood and delivered my prepared statement. Then I walked the judge through my evidence, handing her copies. These bank statements show 3 withdrawals made by the defendant Karen Collins from my savings account in April 2024, totaling $4,953. These text messages show that I explicitly refused to give my parents control over my savings in March 2024. This document is the actual protection plan they wanted me to sign, which I refused. Despite my refusal, they withdrew the funds anyway. Judge Morrison examined everything carefully. Ms. Collins, why did your mother have access to this account? She was added as a joint holder when I opened it in 2014 when I was 18. At the time, she told me it was necessary for emergency access. I forgot she was still on it until she made these withdrawals. And you're saying she withdrew funds without your knowledge? Yes, Your Honor. I discovered the withdrawals when I logged in to transfer money for rent. I had no idea until I saw my balance had dropped from $9,200 to $4,247. What did you do when you discovered this? I called the bank and removed her from the account. Then I contacted her and asked for the money back. She refused, saying she was protecting it from me. Do you have documentation of that conversation? I have text messages. I handed her the printed thread. Judge Morrison read them, her expression unreadable. Then she turned to my parents. Mr. and Mrs. Collins, you withdrew $4,953 from your daughter's account in April. Why? My dad stood. Your Honor, we were trying to protect her. She has a history of irresponsible spending. What history? She spent $180 on a coat. She goes out to dinner with friends. She took a trip. Those are normal expenses for a 26-year-old with a job. What makes them irresponsible? She has student loan debt. So do millions of Americans. That doesn't give you the right to control her money. My dad's face reddened. We weren't controlling her. We were protecting her savings from impulsive purchases. By taking it without telling her, we had legal access. I understand you had legal access. But did you have her permission to withdraw these specific funds in April 2024? Silence. Mr. Collins, I asked you a question. We thought it was in her best interest. That's not what I asked. Did she give you permission? No, that's the answer. Judge Morrison turned to my mom. Mrs. Collins, why didn't you tell your daughter you were withdrawing her money? My mom's voice shook. Because she would have said no. Exactly. Because it was her money and she would have said no. But you did it anyway. We're her parents. Being a parent doesn't give you the right to take your adult daughter's money against her wishes. Judge Morrison leaned back. Here's what I see. The plaintiff explicitly refused to grant you control of her savings. You took the money anyway using access you'd had since 2014, but which she clearly believed was inactive or forgotten. You acted in bad faith. Your Honor, Hutchins interjected, my clients had legal authority. Legal authority is not the same as rightful authority. They had access. They didn't have permission. Those are different things. She looked at her notes one more time. Judgment for the plaintiff. Defendants will return $4,953 to the plaintiff within 30 days, plus court costs of $75. Total, $5,028. I felt my breath catch. I won. If defendants fail to pay within 30 days, plaintiff may pursue wage garnishment or bank account levy. This matter is concluded. The gavel hit. I walked out of the courtroom in a daze. Behind me, I heard my mother crying. My father arguing with Hutchins in hushed, angry tones. I didn't turn around. I walked out of the courthouse, got in my car, and sat there for 10 minutes. I'd won. The judge had believed me. I'd won. Chapter 14. The Payment Battle. The court order was clear. My parents had 30 days to pay me $5,028. I waited. Day 1, nothing. Day 7, nothing. Day 15, I got a text from an unknown number. It was my mom using a different phone. Unknown. We don't have $5,000 to give you right now. We need time. Me? You had $5,000 when you took it from my account. Where did it go? Unknown. That's none of your business. Me? Actually, it is. That was my money. You have 15 days left to return it, or I'm filing for wage garnishment. Unknown. You'd really do that? Garnish your own parents' wages? Me? You really stole from your own daughter, so yes. She didn't respond. Day 20. I got a call from my dad's attorney, Hutchins. Ms. Collins, my clients are prepared to make a payment arrangement. The court order says full payment within 30 days. They're requesting an extension. They can pay $500 per month for 10 months. That's not what the judge ordered. They don't have $5,000 liquid right now. They had it in April when they took it from me. Figure it out. Full payment in 10 days or I file for garnishment. You're being unreasonable. I'm following a court order. You're the one asking me to violate it. He hung up. Day 30. No payment. Day 31. I went back to the courthouse and filed for wage garnishment. The clerk walked me through the process. We'll send the garnishment order to their employers. 25% of their wages will be deducted each pay period until the judgment is satisfied. How long will that take? Depends on their income. Could be a few months. What if they quit their jobs? Then you can levy their bank accounts, freeze their assets until they pay. I signed everything. The clerk stamped it. They'll receive notice within a week. Thank you. Chapter 15. The Garnishment. My mother worked part-time as a medical receptionist, making about $2,000 a month. My father got disability payments of about $1,800 a month. Combined, they made about $3,800 per month. At 25% garnishment, that was $950 per month, which meant it would take them about 6 months to pay off the $5,028. The garnishment order went into effect in August. My mom called me from yet another new number. Do you have any idea what you've done? I didn't answer. We can barely afford our bills now. They're taking $950 a month from us. We're going to lose our house. You should have paid the judgment. We don't have it. You had it in April. Where did it go? Silence. Mom, where is my money? We used it. For what? That's not your concern. It's absolutely my concern. You took $5,000 of my money and used it for something. What? Your father had some debts. My blood went cold. What debts? Credit cards, medical bills, things you don't understand. You stole my savings to pay your debts? We didn't steal. We borrowed. Borrowing requires asking permission. You stole. We're your parents, and I'm your daughter. You stole from me to pay your credit cards. She started crying. You've ruined us. Our family is destroyed because of you. No, Mom. Our family is destroyed because you stole from me and refused to give it back. You could have avoided all of this by just being honest. I hope you're happy. I'm not happy, but I'm done being stolen from. I hung up. Chapter 16. The Family Fracture. The garnishment became public knowledge in my family. My Uncle Robert sent a scathing email. Gosh, Paige, I can't believe you're actually garnishing your parents' wages over a few $1,000s. They're struggling to pay their mortgage now. If they lose their house, that's on you. I hope you can live with that. Astrakov responded. They stole $5,000 from my savings to pay their own credit card bills. They had 30 days to return it per court order. They refused. The garnishment is a consequence of their choices, not mine. Asterisk, he didn't reply. My grandmother sent another letter. Paige, I'm ashamed of you. Your parents are suffering because of your greed. You've chosen money over family. I cannot support that. Please don't contact me again. Arsturk, I put the letter in a box labeled Family Casualties and moved on. My cousin Jenny called. I heard about the garnishment. Yeah. How are you holding up? I'm fine. I won in court. They refused to pay. This is what happens. I heard your mom say they might lose the house. They won't. They're being dramatic. The garnishment is $950 a month out of $3,800 income. They'll be fine if they budget. She's telling everyone you're destroying them. She stole from me, Jenny. She used my savings to pay their credit cards. Then she refused to pay me back even after a judge ordered it. I'm not the villain here. I know. I'm just telling you what people are saying. Let them say it. I know the truth. For what it's worth, I still believe you did the right thing. Thank you. That means a lot. Chapter 17. The first payment in September. 3 months after the court judgment, I received my first garnishment payment, $950. Direct deposit into my checking account with a note, Wage Garnishment, Collins v. Collins. I stared at it for a long time. This was my money. Money I'd saved from working overtime, from skipping lunches, from being careful, and I'd had to sue my own parents to get it back. Over the next 5 months, the payments came like clockwork. September, $950, October toward $950. November, $950, December, $950, January, $950. By February 2025, I'd received $4,750. Only $278 left. Chapter 18, The Breaking Point. In March 2025, 10 months after I discovered the theft, my father had a heart attack. He survived, but he was in the hospital for a week. My Aunt Lisa called me. "Your father had a heart attack. He's in intensive care." I felt my stomach drop. "Is he okay?" "He's stable, but Paige, your mother is saying the stress of the lawsuit and garnishment caused this." "That's not how heart attacks work." "I know, but she's devastated. She's at the hospital. She wants to see you." "I'm not going." "Paige, he's your father. He almost died. He stole from me, and I'm still not fully repaid." "Jesus Christ, Paige, is money really more important than your father's life?" "This isn't about money. This is about the fact that my parents stole from me, lied to my face, turned the entire family against me, and refused to take accountability. A heart attack doesn't erase that. You're heartless." "I'm boundaried. There's a difference." She hung up. "I didn't go to the hospital. But I did send flowers with a note. 'Dad, I hope you recover fully. Paige,' my mom called me from the hospital. 'He almost died, Paige. Don't you care?' I sent flowers." "Flowers? Flowers? Your father almost died and you sent flowers instead of coming to see him?" "I'm not ready to see you both." "Because of money? Because you stole from me and spent a year lying about it and turning my entire family against me. Dad having a heart attack doesn't change that. You're a monster." "I'm someone with boundaries. If your father dies and you weren't here, you'll regret it forever." "Maybe, but I'd regret letting you abuse me more." She hung up. My dad recovered. He was released from the hospital after 10 days and went home with new medications and orders to reduce stress. The garnishment continued. Chapter 19, The Final Payment. In February 2025, 11 months after the court judgment, I received the final payment, $278. The garnishment order was satisfied. Total received, $5,028. My money was back. I sat in my apartment and cried. Not sad tears, relief tears. It was over. I'd fought for my money for 11 months. I'd lost my entire family. I'd been called greedy, heartless, ungrateful, and a monster. But I'd won. And more importantly, I'd learned something crucial. I could survive without them. Chapter 20, The Attempted Reconciliation. 2 months later, in April 2025, exactly 1 year after the theft, I got a letter in the mail from my mother. I almost threw it away without reading it. But curiosity won. Dear Paige, it's been a year since this all started. A year since our family fell apart. Your father and I have been in therapy. Our therapist asked us to write you a letter. We're sorry. We're sorry we took your money without asking. We're sorry we didn't understand why you were so upset. We're sorry we turned the family against you. Our stack at the time, we truly believed we were protecting you. We saw you spending money on things we thought were unnecessary, and we panicked. We thought if we controlled your savings, we could prevent you from making mistakes. We were wrong. You're an adult. You have the right to make your own financial decisions. We had no right to take your money, even if we had legal access. We know the damage is done. We know we broke your trust. We know we can't undo the last year. But we want to try to rebuild, if you're willing. We're not asking you to forget. We're asking for a chance to do better. Our Starks, we love you, even if we showed it in terrible ways. Mom and Dad, I read it 3 times. It was the apology I'd wanted a year ago. But a year ago, I'd still believed they might change. A year ago, I'd still had hope that they'd see me as an adult. Now I knew better. They were apologizing because the garnishment was over and they wanted to rebuild the family image. Not because they actually understood what they'd done wrong. I could tell because nowhere in the letter did they acknowledge the specifics. They took my money to pay their credit card bills. They lied about it for weeks. They refused to return it, even after a court order. They turned my entire family against me. They hired an attorney to threaten me. They still hadn't explained where the original $5,000 went. An apology without accountability isn't an apology. It's image management. I wrote back, Mom and Dad, I received your letter. I appreciate that you're in therapy and that you've acknowledged some of what happened. However, I'm not ready for reconciliation. Didn't just take my money without asking. You stole $5,000 from my savings account after I explicitly refused to give you control. You used it to pay your own debts. You lied to me for weeks. You refused to return it even after a judge ordered you to. You turned my entire family against me. You called me greedy, ungrateful, and heartless. An apology letter doesn't undo that. If you want a relationship in the future, here's what that requires. Doctor 1. Full accountability. Admit what you did and why it was wrong. Not, we thought we were protecting you. Admit you stole from me to pay your bills. Tenors 2. Understanding. Explain to me why taking my money without permission was theft, even though you had legal access. Tenor 3. Amends. Not just words, actions. What are you doing to ensure this never happens again? 24. Time. I need years, not months, to rebuild trust. Until those things happen, I'm not interested in reconciliation. I don't hate you, but I don't trust you. And I won't put myself in a position to be hurt again. Tashed. Paige. I mailed it and felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just clarity. Chapter 21. 1 year later. It's been 2 years now since my parents stole my money. 2 years since I discovered the withdrawals and started this whole nightmare. Here's where I am today, financially. I have $11,400 in savings, rebuilt from the $5,028 plus 2 years of saving. My student loans are down to $24,000 from $32,000. I have $3,200 in an emergency fund in a separate account. I opened a new savings account at a completely different bank with no joint holders. I'm saving for a down payment on a condo. Professionally, I got promoted to senior designer. I'm now making $54,000 per year. I freelance on the side and make an extra $500 to $800 per month. Personally, I cut off my parents completely. I haven't spoken to them in 18 months. I have minimal contact with extended family, only Jenny and one aunt who believed me. I've made new friends who respect boundaries. I'm in therapy processing family trauma. I started dating someone who thinks what my parents did was fucked up. His words, and I love him for it. Emotionally, I sleep well at night. I don't feel guilty anymore. I trust my instincts. I protect my money fiercely. I've learned that. Family is a behavior, not a biology. Chapter 22, The Reckoning. 6 months ago, I got a Facebook friend request from my mom. I didn't accept it. But I did look at her public posts. She'd posted a photo from a family gathering. My dad, my aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone smiling. The caption, "Family is everything. So grateful for the people who show up." Asterisk, no mention of me, like I'd never existed. I screenshot it and sent it to my therapist. "How does this make you feel?" she asked in our next session. Honestly, nothing. They erased me from the narrative. Fine, I erased them from my life. Do you miss them? I miss the idea of them. I miss having parents who actually cared about me as a person, not as a financial resource to control, but I don't miss the reality of them. That's very healthy. It doesn't feel healthy. It feels like loss. It is loss. You lost the family you deserved. But you're building the life you deserve. She was right. Chapter 23. The lesson last week. I was at a coffee shop and overheard 2 women talking. One was maybe 30, telling her friend, "My mom keeps asking how much I make. She wants me to show her my bank statements to make sure I'm being responsible. I'm 30 years old," the friend said. "That's controlling." "But she's my mom. She's just worried." I wanted to lean over and say, worry is not the same as control. Parents who respect you trust you to manage your own life. But I didn't, because she'd have to learn that lesson herself, the same way I did, the hard way. Chapter 24. The Final Word. If you're watching this or reading this and you're in a similar situation, parents demanding receipts for birthday money, wanting access to your accounts, taking money for safekeeping, here's what I learned. 1. Financial control is abuse. Asterisk docente was it doesn't matter if they call it helping or protecting or teaching responsibility. If they're demanding control of your money, they're abusing you. 2. Legal access is not the same as permission. Asterisk de Macy, my mom had legal access to my account. She didn't have permission to take my money. Courts recognize the difference. 3. For your own good is a lie. Daughter, when parents say they're controlling your money for your own good, what they mean is for my own control. It's never about you. 4. Document everything. Every text, every demand, every withdrawal. Documentation wins court cases. 5. Remove them from your accounts immediately. Dexterx. If your parents are joint holders on any of your accounts, remove them today. Go to your bank, bring ID, get them off. 6. Don't tell them about your money. They don't need to know your balance, your salary, or your spending. That's private is a complete sentence. 7. Prepare for family warfare. 7. If you stand up to financial abuse, they will turn people against you. They will play victim. They will call you ungrateful. Stand firm anyway. 8. Courts will protect you. Arstock's small claims court is accessible and affordable. If someone steals from you, even family, you can sue and win. 9. Garnishment is real. They should to pay a court judgment, you can garnish their wages or levy their accounts. The law is on your side. Number 10. You are not responsible for their consequences. Arstock. If they lose their house, can't pay bills, or suffer stress from being held accountable, that's on them, not you. 11. Family is earned, not owed. Starked. Blood doesn't give them the right to abuse you. Family is about respect, trust, and boundaries. If they can't give you those things, they're not family. 12. You can survive without them. Surst. I thought losing my family would destroy me. It didn't. I'm happier, healthier, and more financially stable without them. 13. Therapy helps. 13. Processing family trauma with a professional is life-changing. Do it. 14. Build chosen family. 13. Find people who respect you, who celebrate you, who don't demand receipts for birthday gifts. Those are your real family. 15. Protect your peace above all else. Stairs Nation. The guilt will come in waves. The doubt. The what-ifs. Protect your peace anyway. You deserve it. Epilogue. The foundation. I'm sitting in my apartment right now. The same studio I've had for 3 years, but I'm moving next month. I'm buying a condo. With money I saved. In an account my parents will never touch. On my coffee table is a framed copy of the court judgment. Judgment for the plaintiff. Defendants will return $4,953 to the plaintiff within 30 days. I keep it there to remind myself. I stood up for myself. I went to court. I won. Next to it is a photo of me and my boyfriend taken last month at a concert. We're smiling, happy, free. People who respect boundaries. My phone buzzes. It's Jenny. Jenny, dinner tonight? My treat. Me. Perfect. See you at 7. Real family. The kind you choose. The kind that shows up without demanding receipts. My name is Paige. My parents demanded receipts for a $100 birthday gift. Then they stole $5,000 from my savings account for safety. I sued them. I won. I got my money back. I lost my parents, my grandparents, most of my extended family. But I gained something more valuable. My freedom, my boundaries, my peace. I'm 28 years old. I have $11,400 in savings. I'm buying my first home. I sleep well at night. I built the life my parents tried to control, and I did it without them. If you're fighting for your financial freedom, keep fighting. You're not greedy. You're not ungrateful. You're not heartless. You're just done being controlled. And that's not selfish. That's survival. The end. Final message to viewers. Thank you for staying with me through this entire story. I know it was long. I know it was heavy, but it's real. Financial abuse by family members is more common than people think. It's insidious because it's wrapped in concern and protection, and we're just trying to help. But control is control, no matter how it's packaged. If you're going through something similar, remove them from your accounts, document everything, set boundaries, enforce consequences, build your own life. Don't look back. You deserve financial freedom. You deserve privacy. You deserve respect. Please share your country, city, and your story in the comments below. You're not alone. I read every single comment. Thank you for watching. Stay strong. Protect your peace. Bonus, where they are now my parents, still together. Still living in their house. They didn't lose it. That was manipulation. Still telling family members I'm difficult and money obsessed. Still haven't taken real accountability. I don't care. My extended family. Most of them sided with my parents. I'm at peace with that. The ones who mattered believed me. Jenny, my cousin and best friend. We're closer than ever. She stood by me when no one else would. My therapist, Dr. Sarah Martinez, changed my life, taught me that boundaries aren't cruelty, they're self-respect. My boyfriend, his name is Marcus. He's kind, respectful, and thinks my parents are absolutely insane for what they did. We're moving into the condo together. Me, thriving, healing, building, free.